Hi, everyone. Chris Stegall here with MK Partners, and I'm joined today by Grazi, one of our SFAs. And Grazi, I overheard doing something that sounded pretty interesting for a client today, so I wanted to invite her on. And Grazi, why don't you tell me about, I think it was something to do with emojis in formula fields.
Yeah, the client wanted to be able to look at all of their leads that haven't been worked in over 90 days, where they haven't sent a follow up or anything like that. So, to give them kind of a quick glance, a quick view at it, we decided to add a big red stop sign into a formula field that um, displayed on the list view. That way, from the list view, he can just take a look at everything with a big red stop sign and go directly into that record and then decide what he wants to do with that lead from then on out.
Awesome. So, like a quick visual cue to get a sort of snapshot at a glance of like what needs work right away.
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, you can read a list of numbers, but it's a lot. Your eye goes a lot quicker when it sees something visual instead of just a plain number on a page.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then what inspired them to do that? Was it just the at a glance being able to act faster? Were there any platform limitations?
Yeah, they are on a professional edition org. And at first, their biggest concern was losing sight of leads that they haven't contacted in a while. And originally, we were going to write a flow to kind of create a task. That way, he can see upcoming tasks associated with that lead. But given the license that they were on, they were limited to 5 flows. And I thought that maybe we could come up with something a little bit different to kind of save their flows for maybe a bigger thing, a bigger process that they might need down the line instead of just like a create a task. So I went and threw this on the page to see if they would like it and if this would help. And it turned out it was perfect. It was just what they wanted.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like one of my favorite things about Salesforce is that every time you've got an issue or a user story, there's sort of like a bunch of different ways to do it. And so there's never like one right answer. There's like, this is how I would do it if I wanted to use a flow, but if I'm trying to save those flows for a rainy day, here's my other strategy. We did that sort of a lot on the marketing side with Pardot. Like you have a limit of automation rules based on your tier. So it's like, how can I build an automation differently that's not going to use up one of those automation rules that are limited? Um,
Yeah. And it
I,
worked out for their use case because they're not a company that has hundreds of thousands of leads. They're a very specific industry with like very specific leads that even make it onto their Salesforce page. So that's what would make this work in the first place was that
yeah,
yeah, they could see it all, most of their leads from a list view.
cool. And I wanted to mock it up so we could take a look at kind of what that looked like without showing client data. So I used my Trailhead org and threw a formula field onto my Closet app that tracks my clothes. And I was like, oh, I'll do it the same way where we get a emoji based on how far long ago the last wear was. And then I realized that I've been tremendously bad at actually logging my outfits every day, which is another one of those Salesforce gotchas that the data's only as good as what you put in. So if you can't get your users adopting, work around. So instead, what I did was made a field called fit score. It gave us a star rating based on how well the article fit, because I have my 5-point fit quality there. And so, like, if it's a perfect fit, we get 5 glowing stars. If it's pretty good, we get 4 regular stars. If it's an okay fit, we get 3 shrugging folks. A 2, we get a couple sad faces. And then I don't think I have any ones in here, but I think the one was like a big red X or something like that. Um, so I do like it. Like it does give me like an at a glance look. And like especially
Yeah.
from the record page, like you were saying, like it's not always easy to see the numbers and translate that in your mind, but it's nice on the record page to be like, I see 5 stars. I see 2 frowny faces. I know instantly whether I want to stay or go.
Yeah, and then you can sort it too, right? You can sort it, and it'll show you everything.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed that's interesting is, and I didn't troubleshoot this yet, but it seems to me that it sorts the emojis probably based on like their Unicode title or something. Let's see if I can zoom in even farther if this just becomes unbearable. Um,
Oh, okay.
but like you can, oh yeah, we just have way too much header if I do that. But if I sort, it's throwing the shruggy folks at the top, and then our sad faces, and then our 5 stars. And if I sort by fit quality, it's going to do it numerically because they
Oh,
start with
because
those leading numbers, you know. So I'll get all my 5s and then into 4s and then into 3s, etc. But fit score, I think it must be doing it alphabetically based on the Unicode name of the emoji or something else, because it doesn't do, how would it know that 5 stars should be more than 4 stars versus 3 people? So an interesting sort of like potential gotcha to watch out for. If you're trying to sort by emoji, you might need to build some
oh,
way to tell it, which emojis go first.
okay, I see. Because you're using different. Yeah, you have the guy shrugging, and then you have or the person shrugging, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what would happen, and we could always test if I did, just if I used the same emoji every time and it was 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, etc. How that would work in a sort, if it would do the increasing quantity as the sort, probably. I guess I've just never tried if I did like capital A and then AA and then triple A, if those would sort accurately or kind of
Oh, okay.
random.
Yeah.
But
Cool
I'm
though. That's
excited. It cleans up the list view. It makes it a little bit more fun to look at. And, I feel like it's one of those things, the more fun you can make it to look at the org, the more likely you are to get your users adopting. So maybe I'll be more likely to actually log in and update my outfits now that I've got
yeah,
some fun stuff
exactly.
to look at.
Now you know, instead of looking in the closet, you can look in there and see which one is the most comfortable and,
Yeah,
and go from there. So
yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your insight on this. I'm super excited to see this start popping up in orgs as well as my own side projects. And I always value like the insight I get from the SFA team, because we don't get to be in the office anymore, so I don't get to just eavesdrop on people's calls. So I really, really do appreciate it when folks, knock on my virtual door and say, "I saw a cool thing," and we get to talk about it for 10 minutes.
yeah, this was a simple thing. Anybody can do it, and I just thought it was, it was kind of fun, and it provided good information. So yeah, no problem. If I come up with anything again, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do. And anybody watching this, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I'll probably throw up a blog post that explains, I'll include the formula field that I used for this, so that if you want to just copy and paste and roll out your own emoji based on a pick list, the formula will be ready to go. So once again, thanks for watching. Grazie, thanks for joining and explaining everything. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day.